Hello all and welcome back to this week's series of Realism tips. This week we are focusing on albinism, melanism, and animals. This will be a two-part series with some shared information across videos that are more specific to one game or another, but I recommend watching both for as much information and tips as you can get. So first of all, what is albinism and melanism? Both of these conditions actually originate as a result of a lack or an overabundance of a natural pigment called melanin. Melanin is what adds pigment to your skin and is responsible for tanning your skin when it's been exposed to the sunlight. Albinism is defined as a congenital absence of pigment in the skin and in the hair. So what does this mean for an animal that is albino? It means that they do not have any melanin at all. This lack of melanin is what leads to their striking white coloring. This condition is genetic and it is a recessive trait. For now, we'll say recessive trait means that both parents must have the gene in order to pass it along, even if they don't display the traits themselves. An albino animal could therefore only contribute a gene to producing albino offspring. Conversely, melanism is defined as an unusual darkening of body tissues, as caused by an excess of melanin in the body. As you can see by examples, just how dark an animal gets by this excess of melanin can vary widely across different species and across different individuals. Now that we have a better understanding of what albinism and melanism even are, let's get into this week's tips. So, since PoT Titans has a built-in system for albino and melanistic skins, we won't analyze their skin system too much and treat the named skins as they are the real deal. For the most part, adding some variety on these traditionally all-black or all-white animals where you can is going to be the best course of action for a true death of realism. Bear in mind that melanin just adds extra black coloration, so sometimes albinos can present as other colors besides just a true white, or as a pink from where you can see the blood underneath their skin. Where you can, try to incorporate this into the skin that you choose. Base your dinosaurs and skins off real-world examples. Albino animals will have a harder time seeing due to this lack of melanin in their eyes. This most commonly portrays as a trouble with depth of field or focusing. While there are no in-game settings that I'm aware of that you can add a challenge to your eyesight with, you can always play out having trouble discerning one object from another or seeing objects that are a great distance away at all. While most common in rodents, albino animals may sometimes have troubles hearing as well. While I don't recommend removing your in-game audio entirely, you can also roleplay this out by relying on the body language that your hermates are giving off and what messages they may be trying to send to you, even if that's just trying to reject you. The art of shunning a herd mate is a delicate one. Albino animals, or animals with any other health condition for that matter, won't always recognize that they're different from the others. Social animals will still try to be social, if for no other reason than the numbers of the herd provide them extra safety, both in options for a carnivore to pick somebody else to eat and for the extra eyes that they offer to spot danger in the first place. However, animals are good at picking up on traits that mean lack of fitness. While albino animals may not always be shunned from the group for their coloration, although animals like crows will reject white chicks at birth, they will be shunned for underlying health conditions that are otherwise unseen to the eye, or their sensory conditions that slow them down. For the same lack of fitness, albino animals will truly struggle to find the mate in the wild, as the goal of producing offspring is to create children that have a high chance of surviving. In most cases, animals may recognize that this would not occur with an albino partner. Even other albinos may reject an albino animal, as while they won't necessarily recognize the problems that they face, they can still identify these problems in others, although two wild albinos meeting would be a rare case indeed. Just try to make sure you're following all rules you're challenging, even when you're rejecting a member of your herd or pack. Animals that are rejected from the main part of the herd do face their own dangers. These animals on the outskirts are more likely to be attacked by a predator than animals that are strong enough to maintain a spot on the inside of the herd. Additionally, predators are more prone to attack animals that are sickly or that they can more easily spot. Unfortunately for albino animals, they are both, and so between their lack of camouflage, their underlying health problems, and the social constraints placed on them, they are that much more likely to be preyed upon, especially when they're at a younger and more vulnerable age. Animals without fur or feathers are also going to be especially sensitive to the sunlight, as they don't have any of the pigment that can help to protect them from it. Some animals could even die if they're exposed to sunlight for too long, as harmful UV rays can actually end up killing them. It is best to take lots of breaks in the shade or try to travel at night, where you don't have to worry about the harmful sun. You can also wallow in the mud by laying down repeatedly next to water in order to get a protective coating against the harsh sun. In some, due to their conditions, albino animals often face extraordinary obstacles that hinder their survival in the wild. They're truly ghosts that are rarely seen due to all the reasons listed before. If you'd like to see more on how to roleplay albino animals, please check out the other video that will be posted, link in description below. This time though, we'll be shifting our focus to melanism. As stated previously, melanistic animals have an increase of melanin production in their body that leads to an excess of black coloration. Melanistic animals may share some similarities with albinos, for example, a dislike of the sunlight. They too may require more frequent breaks in the shade or water, but this is to help themselves cool off, as their darker skin will trap and retain the heat very readily. As dinosaurs were large animals, they already produced a lot of heat. Take frequent breaks to avoid heat exhaustion and other problems. Unlike albino animals, melanistic animals do not share the same social pressures or problems with camouflage. They are more readily accepted by their peers, as their darker skin can sometimes be a benefit. They do not share the same health problems that arise due to a lack of melanin. In fact, some research suggests that melanistic animals actually have an increased immune system and resistance to disease when compared to normal counterparts. In order to explore this idea fully, I'll be using wolves as a prime example. In wolves, animals with a black coat will actually be much more resistant to disease when compared to the gray counterpart. As such, wolves will actually choose the mate that offers the offspring the best possible chance of inheriting this advantage, being the black coat and disease resistance. This black coat gene is actually a dominant trait, meaning a black wolf had to have at least one black parent. So if having a black coat is so beneficial, why aren't all wolves black? Well, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. The same gene passed along by both parents leads to offspring that are incompatible with white, at least at smaller litter sizes. Because a wolf can not only have a gene to pass down a black coat, they must also have a chance of producing gray pups with any partner that they choose. To avoid litters that are smaller or otherwise eugenically similar, a black wolf will often pair with a wolf of a different color to give their offspring the best possible chance at living to term and beyond. If two black wolves do have offspring, this can lead to smaller sizes of litters. If you want to apply the same idea to melanistic dinosaurs, that means two melanistic dinosaurs would be more likely to produce a smaller clutch than a melanistic and a normal dinosaur would, or even a normal. Think wisely. Thank you for watching this week's series of realism tips. These videos required more time and research than ever before, so please ensure that you watch both. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Please just always bear in mind that when you're playing on Walking With, you're taking a step into the world of your character. While you may play your character true to their form, please don't extend any hatred or negative attitudes towards other players for the character that they portray, or any conditions that their character may have. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next time.